You're chugging a bottle of Coca-Cola, but what are you really drinking? A fizzy mix of 39 grams of sugar swimming in phosphoric acid, the same stuff that dissolves nails, with a shot of caffeine to keep you hooked. And that caramel color? It's made with chemicals linked to cancer. So, what's really inside Coca-Cola? Coca-Cola likes to market itself as happiness in a bottle. Well, they're not wrong. If your idea of happiness is a slow, steady overdose of sugar and a few chemicals that sound like they belong in a cleaning supply closet. Let's start with the star of the show, sugar. Or rather, its much more sinister cousin, high fructose corn syrup, HFCS. Yes, folks, the sweet elixir in your beloved Coke is not the refined sugar your grandma used to bake cookies. It's HFCS, a highly processed form of sugar made from, you guessed it, corn. Why corn? Because it's dirt cheap in the US and makes Coke even more profitable. How much HFCS are we talking about? A 12-ounce can of Coca-Cola contains 39 grams of sugar. That's about 10 teaspoons, enough to send your pancreas into overdrive. That much sugar is double the recommended daily intake for women, and almost double for men. Basically, you're downing 2 days' worth of sugar in one can. A diabetic's nightmare, right? But hey, it's not just about the sugar. It's about how it hits your bloodstream faster than a freight train. The glycemic index of HFCS is sky high, meaning it sends your blood sugar soaring, followed by a crash that leaves you craving more. Coca-Cola is like a masterclass in addiction. Just one sip, and your brain's pleasure center lights up like a Christmas tree, begging for more. Ever wonder why dentists hate soda so much? It's not just the sugar. Coca-Cola contains phosphoric acid, a corrosive substance used in everything from fertilizers to detergents. Yes, you heard that right. This stuff is so acidic that it can dissolve a nail in 4 days. And it's the same thing you're swishing around in your mouth when you take a gulp of Coke. Phosphoric acid is used to remove rust from metal. So, while it's cleaning up your metal pipes, it's also scrubbing away your tooth enamel. Think of it as dental erosion in a can. Phosphoric acid does wonders for cutting through that sweet, syrupy taste so you don't realize just how sugary it is. But it also makes sure your teeth are slowly being etched away with every sip. It's like a bonus side effect. Enjoy your drink and erode your enamel at the same time. But why, you ask? Why add this delightful acid? Well, aside from balancing out the flavor, it helps give Coke that trademark tang. Without it, you'd just be drinking carbonated corn syrup. Sounds gross, right? But hey, at least the acid helps mask the full sugar bomb that's hitting your body. Now, onto that rich, dark color that Coca-Cola is famous for. You'd think maybe that's just from all the natural ingredients, right? Wrong. That deep brown hue comes from caramel coloring, specifically 4-MEI, 4-methylamidazole. It sounds fancy, but it's really just a cheap coloring agent made by reacting sugars with ammonia and sulfites under high pressure and temperature. Here's the kicker. 4-ME has been linked to cancer in lab animals. The state of California even requires warning labels on products containing high levels of it. But don't worry. Coca-Cola swears their levels are perfectly safe for human consumption. Because, what's a little carcinogen between friends? Does that sound like something you'd want in your drink? Probably not. But it's there, making sure your Coke looks like the iconic brown soda we all recognize. A little dose of color, a little dose of risk. Sounds like a solid trade-off, right? Ah yes, the bubbles. The fizz that tickles your throat and makes you feel alive. That's all thanks to carbon dioxide, pumped into your soda to create carbonation. Now, I'm not here to ruin carbonation for you, but did you know that carbonated beverages like Coca-Cola can lead to gas, bloating, and acid reflux? Here's a fun detail. That refreshing fizz? It's actually your drink turning into carbonic acid in your stomach. Yeah, you're essentially drinking weak acid. Enjoy. Carbon dioxide on its own isn't harmful, but it can definitely turn your stomach into a gas factory. And if you're one of those unlucky folks prone to acid reflux, that carbonation just makes it easier for stomach acid to splash back into your esophagus, burning a hole in your day and your throat. But hey, at least it's fizzy, right? Now, let's talk about one of Coke's main attractions, caffeine. Sure, you could get your caffeine fix from coffee, but where's the fun in that when you could be slamming back a can of Coke? Each 12-ounce can of Coca-Cola contains around 34 milligrams of caffeine, just enough to give you a little jolt of energy without making you jittery. But there's a catch. Caffeine, while giving you that temporary high, is also addictive. That little energy boost is a quick hit, followed by a crash that leaves you reaching for another can. It's a sneaky way to keep you coming back for more, a legal stimulant packed right into your soda. Caffeine is a mild diuretic, meaning it helps your body get rid of water. So, while you're quenching your thirst, you're also slowly dehydrating yourself. Genius, right? And let's not forget, too much caffeine can lead to insomnia, anxiety, and heart palpitations. Just what you need to wash down your sugar high. Coca-Cola's secret recipe is famously guarded, rumored to be locked in a vault somewhere, hidden from public view. But here's the thing. The so-called natural flavors in Coke aren't as mystical as they want you to believe. One of the main components is coca leaf extract. But don't get too excited. They've already removed a certain white, powdery substance that used to give people a bit more than just a sugar rush. Yep, back in the late 1800s, each serving of Coca-Cola contained about 9 milligrams of this stimulant. You know, the kind that might make you feel like you could run through a brick wall. So yes, Coke was once the ultimate pick-me-up. Today, it's more likely a mix of vanilla, cinnamon, and maybe some other mystery chemicals whipped up in a lab. The truth is, they could be adding just about anything under the guise of natural flavors. The FDA allows companies to keep their exact flavor formulas under wraps, so we'll probably never know what's actually in there. But who cares, as long as it tastes good, right? Let's not forget about Diet Coke, the savior for anyone watching their waistline. Except, here's the kicker. Diet Coke doesn't contain sugar, but instead, it's sweetened with aspartame, an artificial sweetener that has caused more controversy than a soap opera love triangle. Here's the spooky part. Aspartame breaks down into methanol, the same stuff found in antifreeze. So yeah, when you're sipping on that Diet Coke, you're getting a little taste of something typically found in your car's engine. Aspartame has been the subject of countless studies, with claims that it's linked to everything from cancer to headaches to mood swings. While the FDA insists that aspartame is safe in moderate amounts, there's still a growing number of skeptics who aren't convinced. But hey, as long as it's low calorie, right? You didn't think we'd stop at what's inside the liquid, did you? No, the can itself is part of the experience, and not always in a good way. Coca-Cola cans are lined with BPA, bisphenol A, a chemical used to prevent the soda from reacting with the metal. BPA is also known to disrupt hormones, mimicking estrogen in the body and potentially leading to reproductive issues, developmental problems, and even an increased risk of certain cancers. BPA is so good at messing with your body, it's been banned in baby bottles and sippy cups. But don't worry, your Coke can is still fair game. Finally, let's talk about the main ingredient in Coca-Cola. Water. That's right, this refreshing drink is mostly H2O. But before you start feeling relieved, let's dive into where that water comes from. Coca-Cola has been criticized for depleting water resources in drought-stricken areas, most notably in India, where Coca-Cola plants were accused of draining local water supplies, leaving communities without access to clean drinking water. Did you know Coca-Cola used over 300 billion liters of water in 2020 alone? That's enough to fill about 120,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Talk about a thirst trap. So not only are you drinking a cocktail of chemicals and sugar, but you might also be supporting a company that's been draining the planet's precious resources. Who knew that taking a sip of Coke could come with such a heavy environmental price tag? Let's be real. Coca-Cola isn't just a soft drink. It's a carefully engineered addiction. The sugar gives you a rush, the caffeine keeps you hooked, and the carbonation makes it just refreshing enough that you want to reach for another can. It's the perfect storm of pleasure chemicals hitting your brain, lighting up your reward system like a Christmas tree, and leaving you wanting more. So there you have it. That cold, refreshing bottle of Coca-Cola isn't just a drink. It's a chemical concoction designed to get you hooked, rot your teeth, and maybe even mess with your hormones. But hey, it's fizzy and delicious. Next time you crack open a can, just remember, you're drinking sugar, acid, caffeine, and chemicals that have more in common with a science lab than your kitchen. Cheers to that. If you got a kick out of this brutally honest breakdown of what's lurking in your food, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that bell for more shocking truths. Because sure, ignorance might be bliss, but let's face it. Knowing the scary stuff is way more fun and a little terrifying.